Have you ever read a story about three bears before? What happens in the story that you know? Who else is a character in the story? This author has a special way of telling the story. Let's read to find out what happens. The Three Bears. Once upon a time, there were three bears who lived together in a house of their own in the woods. Are the three bears like bears in real life? How do you think they're the same? How do you think they are different? One of them was a little wee bear. One was a middle-sized bear. And the other was a great big bear. They each had a bowl for their porridge. The wee little bear had a wee little bowl. The middle-sized bear had a middle-sized bowl. And the great big bear had a great big bowl. They each had a chair to sit in. The little wee bear had a little wee chair. The middle-sized bear had a middle-sized chair. And the great big bear had a great big chair. And they each had a bed to sleep in. The wee little bear had a wee little bed. The middle-sized bear had a middle-sized bed. And the great big bear had a great big bed. One morning, the three bears made porridge for breakfast and poured it into their bowls. But it was too hot to eat, so they decided to go for a walk in the woods until it cooled. While the three bears were walking, what are you thinking about the bears so far? What do you think will happen while the bears are out walking? A little girl named Goldilocks came to their house. First, she looked at the window, and then she peeked through the keyhole. Of course, there was nobody inside. Goldilocks turned the handle of the door. What are you thinking about Goldilocks so far? What is she going to do next? What do you think she should do? The door was not locked because the three bears were trusting bears. They did no one any harm and never thought anyone would do harm to them. So Goldilocks opened the door and went right in. There was the porridge on the table. It smelled very, very good. Goldilocks didn't stop to think whose porridge it was. She went straight to it. First, she tasted the porridge of the great big bear, but it was too hot. Then she tasted the porridge of the middle-sized bear, but it was too cold. Then she tasted the porridge of the little wee bear. It was neither too hot nor too cold, but just right. Goldilocks liked it so much that she ate it all up. Then Goldilocks went into the parlor to see what else she could find. Do you think that Goldilocks is doing the right thing? How do you think the bears would feel if they knew about this? There were the three chairs. First, she sat down on the chair of the great big bear, but it was too hard. Then she sat down in the chair of the middle-sized bear, but it was too soft. Then she sat down in the chair of the little wee bear. It was neither too hard nor too soft, but just right. Goldilocks liked it so much that she rocked and rocked until the bottom of the chair fell out. Down she went, plump, onto the floor. Goldilocks went into the bedroom where the three bears slept. First she lay down upon the bed of the great big bear, but it was too high at the head for her. Then she lay down upon the bed of the middle-sized bear, but it was too high at the foot for her. Then she lay down upon the bed of the little wee bear. It was neither too high at the head nor too high at the foot, but just right. Goldilocks liked it so much that she covered herself up and fell fast asleep. By this time, the three bears thought their porridge would be cool enough, so they came home for breakfast. Goldilocks had left the spoon of the great big bear in his porridge bowl. He noticed it first thing. "Somebody has been tasting my porridge," said the great big bear in his great big voice. Goldilocks had left the spoon of the middle-sized bear in her porridge bowl too. "Somebody has been tasting my porridge," said the middle-sized bear in her middle-sized voice. Then the little wee bear looked at his bowl. "Somebody has been tasting my porridge and has eaten it all up," cried the little wee bear in his little wee voice. The three bears went into the parlor. Goldilocks had left the cushion crooked in the chair of the great big bear. He noticed it first thing. "Somebody has been sitting in my chair," said the great big bear in his great big voice. Goldilocks had squashed down the cushion in the chair of the middle-sized bear. "Somebody has been sitting in my chair," said the middle-sized bear in her middle-sized voice. Then the little wee bear looked at his chair. "Somebody has been sitting in my chair and has sat right through it," cried the little wee bear in his little wee voice. The three bears went into the bedroom. Poor little wee bear cried. What does that tell you? What do you think the bears will find when they get into the bedroom? Goldilocks had pulled the pillow of the great big bear out of place. He noticed it first thing. "Somebody has been lying in my bed," said the great big bear in his great big voice. Goldilocks had pulled the blanket of the middle-sized bear out of place. "Somebody has been lying in my bed," said the middle-sized bear in her middle-sized voice. Then the little wee bear looked at his bed. "Somebody has been lying in my bed, and here she is!" cried the little wee bear in his little wee voice. This woke Goldilocks up at once. There were the three bears all staring at her. Oh boy, how would you feel? Look at Goldilocks' face. What do you think she will do? Oh, let's find out. Goldilocks was so frightened that she tumbled out of bed and ran to the open window, and out she jumped. And she ran away as fast as she could, never looking behind her. No one knows what happened to Goldilocks after that. As for the three bears, they never saw her again. Boys and girls, I would like you to pretend that you could ask each one of the three bears this question. What do you think of Goldilocks? I would like you to get a piece of paper and write down what you think they would each say. Tell me what you think the big bear would say, the middle-sized bear would say, and the wee little bear. Then take a picture of your work and send me the picture on the Remind app. I hope you enjoyed our story. Have a great day.